How's it going, everyone? Like always, it's your boy FreemanC2. In today's episode, we start the first part of completing my oil system on my REW swapped RX8. Two things we'll be doing today. First is removing the center bracket in the engine bay, and second, we'll officially be installing my external filter adapter. We are officially here in my new place, and I'm finally settled down. So let's get started with this episode. I started to remove my OEM crash bar first. I ordered a bash bar from Street Faction to simplify my intercooler setup in the future. It's pretty simple in removing the crash bar. It's just 4 bolts on each side. I suggest leaving the top bolts last so you have something to hold it in place before removal. Also add back the bolts and hand tighten them. I noticed that the front sheet metal is not even connected to the frame at all. This is just my uncle just trying to say hi to everyone. We were just having a good time on a Friday, drinking and whatnot. Finally, I get to share with you all my radiator setup. I went with an aluminum coil rad radiator. I debated back and forth between CSF, but decided on this since my oil coolers are from coil rad as well. For my slim radiator fans, I got it off of eBay for $100. I'll leave a link in the description below. Any aftermarket parts that you buy off of eBay, there will be some type of modification you have to do to make it work. In my case, it was the bottom mounts that were too big and not aligning the top bolts properly. So to make it work, I just had to grind a bit off from the bottom mounts till the radiator shroud bolts up. This is the final product after grinding off a bit from those mounts. Before I install my new radiator, this next modification might not be for the faint of heart. That is removing the center brace in the engine bay. That is totally optional, but I am removing it because this brace is not needed since I am relocating my battery to the back and found that this is a perfect place to mount my external filter adapter. So right now I'm just marking all the spot welds and making pilot holes before drilling. My small hammer didn't do its job today, so I recommend just going straight into using a drill with a small drill bit. You'll see that in a bit. Everything rotary is the theme here, so you'll be needing a rotary spot weld cutter to drill out those spot welds. I got this from Harbor Freight for $5. Make sure to use your 20% discount to make it cheaper. After I remove my big ass shoulder, you'll see two large holes. I kinda went overboard and drilled through the frame. So when you're using this tool, try not to go all the way. You'll see I made the other side much more cleaner. And now for the moment of truth. As you can see here, the other side is much more cleaner. I didn't cut all the way. I'll eventually weld these areas up and get it repainted, but that will be for a future episode. Here's the final product after grinding it down. This is my improved racing remote engine oil filter and thermostat combo. I went with this to simplify my oil system. They have different thermostat valves available, but I went with the 180 degree valve. They go for around $280, but in my opinion it's worth every penny. I'll leave a link in the description below. Now it's time to install my radiator. We need it to be in place so we know where to mount my external filter adapter. This was actually harder to install than it looks, especially if you have a $300 radiator hovering over your head. I highly recommend covering up the fins with cardboard like I did to reduce any chance of damaging your radiator. So at this point I found an issue with my driver's side radiator bracket. It was actually bent. It took me a while to realize that, that's why I was struggling so much to get it mounted. So I went off camera to bend it back. Man, I'm so glad I chose this occasion to mount my oil filter adapter. It's a straight shot from my oil feed adapter and my front cover. Also, I was able to use one of the holes I over drilled to mount part of my oil filter adapter. Now that I marked the areas to drill out, I can go ahead and remove my radiator. I still have to modify my radiator and add -20 bungs to both top and bottom pipes, but that will be in a future episode. With that center brace removed, you can see how easy it is to remove my radiator. So here, I'm just dropping my car to level it out so I can mount the oil filter adapter properly. The plan is to add rivet nuts to the frame in order to easily bolt and unbolt the oil filter adapter whenever needed. I got this rivet nut tool on Amazon for $40 and it already comes with a set of rivet nuts. At this point, I'm just going to drill out the hole for the second rivet nut. I'll do that off camera since I do need to weld up the spot welds on the frame. The bolts that come with the improved racing oil filter adapter are M8 threaded. Luckily my rivet nut tool came with a pack of them. So if you never used this tool before, you pretty much load up the rivet nut on the rivet tool. Make sure that the rivet tool is open, meaning the handles are separated like so. Here's the rivet nut fully installed. With the oil filter adapter mounted here, I can easily get to it and it's far away from the sway bar and radiator. I'm definitely liking how this is turning out. Well guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I know I did. I hope you guys like the new changes that I made to my videos, and new episodes will come out faster since I'm aiming for July to complete this build. Stay tuned for more episodes, and like always, peace out and see you next time.